She made a huge contribution to education over the years, didn't she? I mean, you were doing it when nobody else was doing it.
Sure, I remember that we had kept the old school open as well because we had an overflow like in the new school, so we had 2 classes over there as well. But I remember some people from the Board of Works coming in, and I'd be out there, helping out and tidying around, trying to get windows fixed and all that type of thing. And he said to me one day, he said, "Do you ever send any of your pals home to your parents?" I mean, they were just wondering why you would be out here doing all this work. But no, we felt it part of the giving of the contribution that we would make. And I think everybody around you was doing the same thing. And I felt and even as I'm at the stage I'm at now, I'm very proud of the contribution that the Sisters of Mercy have made to education.
Well, you should be. So you gave it your whole lives.
And I know that it's wonderful now for the younger people because since 64, they thank God they have the buses and they have the whole educational system in that way has certainly improved so much. But I think at a time when when I just look around where people had either a convent school or a De La Salle Brothers or Norris Brothers or Christian Brothers, if they had them in the area and if they could cycle to them, at that stage they got an education which they would not have got because they couldn't afford to go to the colleges, to the boarding schools. And some of them, who went abroad, they lacked that, education. If they could have got even 3 years, even to the intercert or whatever, it would have been a great boost to them.
But there was no culture, was it?
It wasn't there. There wasn't. They tell me Leitrim didn't have any at all, I suppose, and some places had fewer secondary schools than others. So I think that they made a great contribution at that particular time. Don't think that they're needed now. The need isn't there now, but the need was there at that time when I started.
Which brings me to the decline of the sisters.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
I think
Why did it come about?
I think that we have our work done, and there isn't the same need now, you see, for teaching or for nursing, because that is subsidised and taken care of by the Department of Education and the health education. So I don't think that there is the need, and I think people wouldn't be inclined to go into live in type of community living now as well. I think any sisters who are joining now, they would go straight for the missions. And they would live, maybe 2 or 3 in a mission area or whatever. And some of ours in Tuam now, 1 or 2 would have gone out and worked. We have some of the sisters who work with me in Tuam work in Peru. So they would have gone out and given 3 years there. And then that's their contribution. They come back, get married, and then they live their own lives after that. So I think there's a different thinking on it. And
does it sadden you to see the decline? No?
Well, not really, no. I think it was part of the times, times were hard, that, as regards money and expenditure and all that. We did it without a lot of things to put the money into the schools. And we would have lived a very, very simple lifestyle. We'd have lived a very, very orderly diet as well. All of that, so that the money would go into the schools or into the missions. A lot of money. We would have put a tremendous amount of money into the foreign missions. Our sisters who work in Peru, every pint of milk that goes on the table, it has to be paid for from Ireland. It still has to be paid for from Ireland, and for the different missions. So that my salary goes into a central fund. I don't wish to see that's my own desire, because you sign a statement and it goes into a central fund. But I'd be very happy to know that money is helping some people who are quite poor and who wouldn't have a meal maybe a day in the missions or wherever they're working if that money wasn't there. So that's a consolation for me. And I'm very happy in my retirement now. I wouldn't be too worried about the decline at all. And I think I admire the women that I live with. Some of them have come home from the missions now. Some of them have worked down in Clare in different parts. But they are very happy and positive, and it's a good place to live and it's a good place to work, to just help others and that type of thing.
If you hadn't been a nun, what would you like to be?
Oh, if I hadn't been a nun, I'd like to be married and have a few children, like the normal process, and that would be certainly a basic desire. But I feel the two are incompatible. So I have no. I felt I was invited by the Lord to do His work in a very personal way, and I feel quite privileged and to have been helped and to have all the blessings that I got and all the strengths I got and all the, there there were ups and downs. You didn't think of them too much as you were going along. There were a lot of restrictions. There's a wonderful sense of freedom now compared with the restrictions we had, because we didn't have any money. I remember walking out with Sister Angela Dempsey, and you probably know Angela, Robert, and Angela had been principal in Ballyhone as I was principal here, and we were going out to Roman Island, and Liam Lyons' father came out. Hardly just about
Willie,
knew
yeah.
him. We just about knew him. They had a son a priest as well, Paddy. I think
That's right,
he's still a priest. But he came out and he gave us 2 large bars of chocolate. Well, I mean, that was something wonderful. You know, we would never have money in our pockets to buy a bar of chocolate or anything like that.